Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fairweather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with dog Alex Rodriguez, and he says I'm being cocky about the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't get it. I don't think I'm being cocky, but the floor is yours. How you doing?
The floor is mine. What did Michael Jordan say? The floor is the ceiling, right?
The floor is the ceiling.
Did he say that like a UNC
The
game
floor
or
is the
something like
ceiling.
that?
Yes, that's what he said at the University of North Carolina. But
Oh man,
I hope our
and
floor is the
you're
ceiling for my team. But hey, who knows at this point?
good, man.
Apparently, I'm being cocky. I don't know.
Hey man, I call a spade the way it is, man.
I've not listen. I have no expectations whatsoever about the 49ers. Obviously, I knew we were going to beat the Giants. That's why I was so confident to post everything I posted last week. Obviously, you haven't seen me talk anything about the 49ers all week. I haven't called out anybody. I know it's going to be a tough game. Brock Purdy has been carving everybody up. Christian McCaffrey is a dog. I mean, I understand what I'm up against. Don't think I'm being cocky. I got mad respect for the 49ers. I've never, every year on this show that when we do like a preseason thing, I'm the only one that's ever like, yeah, the 49ers are going to be dangerous this year. The 49ers are going to be like, I'm the only one that ever talked positive. Well, even when we bring Tony on, I'm the only one that ever give the 49ers any kind of love and credit. And 3 out of the 4 years, 3 out of the last 4 years they've been in the NFC Championship game. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Like I know they're good. I'm not even trying to act tough. Believe me.
I'll give you that. It's also not a team in your division either. So I imagine Giants slander should be there. Cowboy slander.
Exactly. I hate the Cowboys. That's natural. I'm going to give the Cowboys all their bullshit because once again, Dak Prescott proved he ain't him. And the Giants, come on, man, they had no business being in the playoffs. Everybody was trying to hype them up. I was so mad at the media. Like, first of all you people in the media who picked the Giants to beat the Eagles just last week, what the hell are you smoking? Like, for real. Like, they were honestly convinced. Yeah, I heard Skip Bayless say it. I heard people on ESPN say it. I started reading stuff on Twitter. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with y'all? Like, for real? Daniel Jones, 38-7. That's all I'm going to say.
You didn't fool me. You didn't fool me. Even when I gave him props the last game that they played, he didn't fool me. I knew it was going to happen, man.
Said Minnesota had 31st ranked pass defense. That's why Daniel Jones looked good. Now all of a sudden they thought Daniel Jones. Chris Sims thinks Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts. Fuck, he's smoking. Who else said something like that? Somebody on ESPN said that too. That he's a better passer or whatever than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is one of the 3 finalists for MVP this year.
I think we look at players, and even the media look at players in very small sample sizes. When it comes to like what they've done, like in like the last 3 games, we're quick to throw them out there and say, "Oh, this guy." I feel like you and I don't do that as much. You and I are pretty realistic with stuff. We're the kind of people that we say, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, sure as fuck ain't a donkey. So we're definitely more in tune with that. I think the media just like stirs that pot
because they're trying to get a story.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to get a story, but I wasn't fooled on Daniel Jones. I still don't think he's him. I think somebody is going to overpay for him as their quarterback going forward.
Shit, might be
but
that's
might be the Jets. You never know. We could make some dumb move like that. So
y'all getting Aaron Rodgers, like Brett Favre. Y'all getting the Green Bay Packers leftovers.
I don't even want to sit here and think about it, man. Like the season's far away from me, so I don't even want to get all riled up on that. I know we're the top landing spots for him and Lamar if they choose not to come. Apparently, like Vegas is projecting us to get one or the other. You know me, I'm a realist. Like with everything, I do not believe that one bit. I see Zach Wilson as our week 1 starter still. So.
I kind of see the same thing. Baltimore.
Back to the cockiness. But back to the cockiness at the same time. Like, I respect it. Your team is in the playoffs. I'm
not even being cocky. I'm gonna talk shit about the Giants and the Cowboys. That's natural. Even when we're losing, I talk shit about the Giants and the Cowboys.
So the reason for me calling him cocky is because I put Melo as my background because yesterday was the anniversary of, and that's January 24th was the anniversary of Melo's 62-point game in the Garden against the Bobcats. And he's like, "Why do you have Melo up there?" And I told him, and he said, "Okay, that was just it."
I said, "And."
Very uncanny. And
I was confused as to why Carmelo. I thought I was led to believe that there was a reason that Carmelo. I thought Carmelo Anthony was coming back to the NBA. I was like, what did I miss? That's what I said. I was kind of
This
let down
man
by
is a
why he was
sports
on your screen. That's all.
aficionado, man, and let me down there and made me feel dumb for putting this. But this
You
is
know
all
I
I got
love
to root
Carmelo
for.
Anthony. Why? I'm not gonna talk shit about Carmelo Anthony. Look, like people got me so confused lately. I don't know what's going on. Everyone assumes I just hate the Bucks because I hate the Bucks.
You know what it
No,
is? You know what it is? You know what it is? You need to go to Gasparilla and have a good time, bro.
I
You need to go
will.
to
I'm gonna have
Gasparilla.
a grand old time. I'm like, I've been cleansing all week to prepare my liver. Dead ass. You see me like right now. I'm on 3 days of just almonds and cashews and water. Like I'm just trying to make sure that I'm prepared for this weekend because Gasparilla's on Saturday. Sunday, I'm either gonna drink a lot of champagne because I'm going to the Super Bowl or drink a lot of whiskey because I'm depressed that we lost to the 49ers. So either way, this weekend I'm getting trashed. So we can already chop that one up to the game.
For our out of town listeners who don't know what Gasparilla is, basically it's a reason for us Tampanians to get drunk and act like pirates, very similar to Mardi Gras.
So Tampa Bay was founded on the land of pirates, I feel like, because everything is the Buccaneers and all that stuff, like it all kind of comes back to pirate shit and all that shit. And it's basically our Gasparilla is the most important day in the year for the city of Tampa. I mean, it's more important than when they even won the Super Bowl. Like it's way more important than all that. More people show up to Gasparilla than the parade for the Super Bowls.
It made it better, but I'm going to be golfing on that day because I'm not drinking. I'm sticking to this until the end of Ramadan. So until March, I haven't had a single drink, just water and soda and tea and coffee. That's it.
Good. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, man. I can't say the same for myself.
But I like to challenge myself sometimes. So
that's what I've been doing. I've been on the cleanse for 3 days. Literally, I feel challenged right now. Normally I'm on this show, I'm a little twisted. I ain't gonna lie. Today I'm full brain. My brain is clear. So I've been killing it at work lately too, man. There obviously is a correlation there, right? Either way, on Saturday I'm going to get thrashed by the pirate alcohol in my system. But funny enough, we were talking about a little bit ago, like the media likes to push these narratives so quickly after one game or one whatever, right? And you've been all over this for the last couple of years about Josh Allen.
Ooh, I have.
I know you were ready for this show today after they got their ass. They got their ass beat by the Cincinnati. I mean, it was embarrassing. Mind you, it was snowing in Buffalo. It was like perfect Buffalo weather. And year after year, they've proven they don't know how to build a team for those elements because they're built off of speed and all this stuff. And when it snows, they don't play that well. And you've been all over this Josh Allen thing for a while. He's been turning the ball over a lot lately. He couldn't beat Cincinnati at home. I mean, 10 points. The floor is yours. Is it time to pump the brakes on Josh Allen?
As far as pumping the brakes on him as Josh Allen is the real deal.
So, all right. Before I'll preface it like this. Going into this past season, everybody and the mother had Josh Allen number 1 or number 2 off the rip. They said, do you know last year Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes won Sportsman of the Year or whatever? Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes won like the NFL Sportsman of the Year or some crap like that, right? Not even Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, who actually made the Super Bowl, Matt Stafford, who won the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald, who won the Super Bowl, they had Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. So Josh Allen has obviously been raised to this pedestal as he's the Messiah. And time and time again, he's proven. Has he even been to the AFC Championship game yet? No, right? All these losses have been in the divisional round.
I think so. I'm not
sure.
No,
last year was a divisional round against Kansas City.
Yeah.
The year before,
I think the year before they went 2-1. I could be wrong though.
I don't think so. But either way, the floor is yours on Josh
Didn't
Allen.
He lose Mahomes one? All right, so
the Mahomes one was a divisional round.
Okay, so they haven't.
Yeah.
My take on Josh Allen is he's definitely the number 1 fantasy quarterback for sure. And if that's what you're using to compare your stats to of how Josh Allen plays, then you don't watch a lick of football, okay? Because I've been preaching this for so long. Do I think Josh Allen is overrated? I'm like right there on that still. I used to say it like I used to say that shit, no problem. He is very overrated, but he's a good football player.
Oh,
But
I'm
when
gonna
it
cut you off.
comes,
I'm sorry. 2020, you're right. They did make the conference championship in that year.
okay, I
So,
remember they went 1 year. Well, they went 1 year for sure. So every time it's a big game, like the same way we preach about Kirk Cousins and the light shining on him, I think more with Josh, it's more in the playoffs is where he doesn't shine. And that was a horrendous game to watch. I mean, the one against who was it last year that he got knocked out by a field
Kansas
goal?
City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, the 13 seconds and then
played his heart out. It was just the coin toss got him, man. Coin toss got him at the end of the day. But it's unfortunate to see it because everybody wants the Bills to go. This is their year. This is that. But the way I analyze Josh Allen, and I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, is if you apply pressure to him, he will fold. He will fold in those big time moments. And for you to not have the connection that you have with like the bromance that you have with Stephon Diggs in that game,
you look dirty on the sideline.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny to see that. And him and Stephon probably have the best relationship in football. And for him to be upset, and the media today was all how she would feel about like he's a competitor.
Yeah,
he's a wide
receiver.
and the last 3 years he's had to stay on the field and watch the other team celebrate. Yep. He's literally watched that and is engraving it in his mind. The man is a competitor. The man is a dog. And he even said, when all else fails, throw it to me. Just throw me the ball. I'll make something work. And he's that kind of guy. I'm sorry, Stephon, I never had you on my top 5 radar, but like you definitely are on mine for sure. Like hands down, no arguments. Stephon Diggs is him. But Josh Allen, it sucks because they give him everything that he needs. And that defense, it's like if they lose a piece, they still gain another piece. But what did I say for Buffalo to win? What does it take for them to get there? Von Miller, and you don't have
that was a huge glaring loss. Like they definitely needed him in this game.
Definitely needed Von Miller in that game, and I feel like Von Miller's presence will make that team better. As back to Josh Allen, like it's just unfortunate. That's a game we don't expect him to play that bad in. We expect him to go all out, but it didn't look like he had any type of chemistry with receivers. His running game really wasn't there. I know the element of snow was there, but Buffalo, like you said, they go and get the pieces, but are they the right pieces for this? I know they went and got Hines. He's played in a stadium indoors most of his career, and they went and got James Cook in the draft. I mean, Georgia is kind of cold. He's a South Florida boy, so I don't know if that's the elements. I know they're
Singletary, Florida FAU, right?
But he's been there. Like he should be getting used to something like that. But what I'm getting at is they construct these rosters, and I want to blame it more on the element, but I also want to say like Joe Burrow is that dude.
Yeah,
I think Joe Burrow is definitely top 3 in my books now.
Yes,
Joe Burrow, and he's like speak softly and carry a big stick kind of guy, and that's the best way to be, man. Like the dude, you don't hear any problems with him. He's very straightforward in his answers. He's the most calm I've ever seen a quarterback in a pocket. Like he's so calm, and when he knows he's going to get fucked up, he gets fucked up, and he gets right back up and just nails the nail in the coffin right there. So as far as like talking about Josh Allen and how I don't feel comfortable with him, in this situation. Like you got to give a lot of credit to Joe Burrow. He's really that dude. Like he was able to know where to capitalize and know how to do it, as opposed to going for big plays. Because I feel like Josh Allen does that too. He'll want to throw a 60-yard bomb on Stephon Diggs trying to cover against 2, and doesn't connect.
But that goes to what you just said. You say like when Stephon Diggs is complaining, like give me the ball or whatever, right? He had 10 targets. So it's not like he was not throwing the ball to Stephon Diggs. But he was being covered really well in those. I mean, look, you know who we don't like? Eli Apple.
Still doesn't fool me. He had a
Eli Apple backed up his talk this time. He backed up his talk this time.
He did, but he doesn't. just like Daniel Jones had one good game, Eli Apple is gonna get fucking
I'll
roasted.
give Eli Apple his credit, man. He definitely did what he was supposed to do in this game with Stephon.
He knew the assignment.
But back to Josh Allen real quick. Like I was looking at his his stats or whatever for the game and everything like that. Like for this postseason, his completion percentage was 59.3%. That is horrendous. That is horrendous. He had 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That is horrendous. Quarterback rating was 80. That is horrendous. So, yes, the talent is obviously there. And, my comparison to him has always been he's Cam Newton and Andrew Luck had a baby. That's him, right? Which still kind of makes sense. He puts his body on the line like Cam Newton and Andrew Luck do. And, he just can't get over the hump, just like Cam Newton and Andrew Luck couldn't do. Cam Newton got to the Super Bowl eventually, and they went 15-1 that year with nobody. I mean, they had Greg Olsen, and that was it. Meanwhile, I see people complaining about Buffalo's offensive cast. Look, Dawson Knox is a good tight end. Gabe Davis is a good wide receiver. He had 4 touchdowns against Kansas City last playoffs, and he was everyone's fantasy darling going into this year. Stephon Diggs, we've both admitted he's a top 5 kind of receiver. And then Cole Beasley, he's back in that slot. He's back in that slot.
The running backs could be better. I'll say that, but
the running backs could be better, but they're not bad. It's not like they have bums.
They're not. They're
James
definitely
Cook
not.
was a second round pick. Singletary was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. And then Naimi Hines, he had 2 returns for touchdowns in the last game of the season or whatever, or the second to last, whatever game that was. So honestly, it's like the thing with Josh is that obviously he's talented and all that. But yes, Joe Burrow, we gotta like give that man his flowers. I was looking at our Instagram post from August 1st, 2022, when we did our top 10 quarterbacks. You had Joe Burrow at number 8. I had him at number 5. I didn't realize Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers would fall off so bad because we both have Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in our top 3.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, my order was Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, and yours is Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow as well. So it's like we both kind of felt the same. I think we both bought into that little media shit, but I think we got to finally like let Joe Burrow give him like his full you are really him. Like my bad.
I think it's time.
We didn't realize he really he's so calm, he's so collected. The swag, everyone loves him. Like he's what Tom Brady wishing he was. Not from his play, but like just the person that he carries. Like everyone loves Joe Burrow because like he's just himself, and it's not corny, it's not cocky, it's himself. So.
Yeah, I think what we expected of Justin Herbert is what we got of Joe Burrow, because we
you had Justin Herbert Ford.
Justin Herbert is good, but like there's so many. I don't want to break it down, but like when Justin Herbert slid into that position with the Chargers and they got all those things, like we were like, oh, he's gonna blow up because he already had an offense that was tailored to him. He had a subpar defense. When Joe Burrow was thrown to Cincinnati, we thought it was going to be a shit show. We thought that team was not going to be good. He tore his ACL for it. We were like, okay, it's going to take some time for this kid. But after that first year, he ramped shit up real quick. So I think Joe Burrow is like one of those quarterbacks that can turn people around him really, really good. And also they have a good offense around him. But we didn't expect T. Higgins to be this good.
I mean, we kind of did. He was, the 33rd overall pick. I knew he was going to be like, when he was in college, he was like, bro, Clemson was producing receivers from Hopkins and Sammy Watkins all the way down to T. Higgins and all these people.
Yeah, I get that, but like it's not a guarantee. We see players go like what's that guy that went to Treadwell or whatever from Minnesota a couple years back, or Dotson, or
those are just bad draft picks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like sometimes it doesn't pan out when you come in and you're only 2 years in.
Yeah,
like these guys were able to get better because of their quarterback throwing them the ball. Now Josh Allen, he's been able to make Gabe Davis be a standout target and be a good receiver, and definitely having Stephon Diggs there is definitely a blanket for him. But there's no excuse for this team. This team like has a shutdown D line. They have a good linebacking core. They have a pretty good secondary. But I think you and I have always been saying like they can get exposed. The Bills defense can get exposed. I remember one year we dropped them when we won the fantasy league, and then we went back and picked them up because we saw the numbers they were producing in fantasy. Like they do good, but sometimes there's some games that they let up.
They just let that shit slip.
Could it be that this team is just gassed in the way that they play? Like they're just finally gassed and coming down it? Because as a competitor, I don't think you ever should be gassed. But at the same time, like I get DeMar Hamlin, you're playing for him. There's a lot of emotion on this game.
And that's why I picked them to make it to the Super Bowl. I thought they would play with a little bit more pizzazz and more energy. They look flat, bro. They look really bad.
They did not look like themselves. I'm used to the Bills beat down all the time.
Cincinnati bullied them at their own place.
And they did it like a comfortable bullying too. Yeah. It was like touchdown. Oh, you turned the ball over. Okay, we got the ball. Touchdown. And like they didn't turn the ball over once. Cincinnati did not turn the ball over once. They were consistent with the football. They had a shit ton of first downs. It was ridiculous. Like every play was like first down. I was like, damn, these guys.
I watched the game with some Buffalo Bills fans, and they were. I mean, you could tell they looked like somebody's dog died. It was like this dude was so somber. Like everybody was so puzzled, and I get it. Like you're a home team. You have so much you're playing for. DeMar Hamlin's at the game. Like it's snowing. It just feels like a Buffalo day, and just like those 4 losses in a row back in the 90s. In the Super Bowl, they're just not able to get it done, bro. It is what it is for Buffalo. I love their fans, so I won't ever hate Buffalo Bills like that because their fans are amazing to me. But at the end of the day, they got exposed. The other person I want to give credit to, though, we got to give credit to Brian Daboll. Now we realize how important Brian Daboll was to Josh Allen's career. Short amount of time, 3-4 years that he had him. And he made him a superstar. And now we go to Daniel Jones down in New York, and Daniel Jones looked like a starting quarterback. I wouldn't say he's going to win you a Super Bowl, but he got you to the playoffs. At the end of the day, his decision making was a lot better this year. He was able to use his legs a lot more to his advantage. He cut down on the turnovers. Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll's impact on Josh Allen and Daniel Jones is clearly being shown right now. And how Baltimore got rid of the offensive coordinator, and because they need to do something with Lamar, right? I think they need to do something with Josh Allen where he cuts down on his bad mistakes, because he started to revert back to that old Josh Allen, the inaccurate throws. Because you'll watch him play, he'll make some beautiful plays, and then you'll be like, damn, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? So. Yeah, we got to give credit to Joe Burrow. We got to give credit to the Cincinnati defense, obviously, and then Brian Daboll. To me, that I got to give credit all the way around in that way. But 27-10, I think was the final score. It was kind of a boring game, but yeah, there's that one.
Well, I mean, if you don't like the Bills like me, it's good to watch them get thrashed, man, because they're usually the ones that do the thrashing. So it made me happy to see them lose. Trust me, like I don't like hate Bills fans. I thoroughly enjoy Bills fans. They turn up and they get wild for their city, but it's a divisional opponent. It's a team that's been leading my division. The last thing I want to see, just like you and the cockiness, man. I don't want to see my division teams move on, man. I want to see somebody else. And I'm becoming a huge Joe Burrow fan. I tell you that, though,
bro. I love Joe Burrow, bro. I am a die ever since LSU. I never, nobody expected that LSU team to just blow up. He had one of the most successful seasons at quarterback in the history of college football, and you can see his handprints all over the NFL. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. They have running backs out there. Like it's just Joe Burrow is him. And my other favorite quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. So it's like they get to see each other again. Joe Burrow is 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a crazy weekend. But before we get to that, moving on to another team that I'm highly disappointed in. Not really. I don't give a shit about them. The Cowboys lost again, as expected. Everybody knows they're never going to do. They're an accident waiting to happen, like Stephen A. Smith says. Dak Prescott, like LaShawn McCoy said, he threw another 2 interceptions. that those 2 interceptions proved to be costly because they only lost by a touchdown. They did well on defense. So they did everything they could to keep Dak in the game. Dak couldn't deliver. So if you're a Cowboys fan, right, let's put the GM hat, because you know Jerry Jones is the GM, the president, the coach, all that shit. You got to figure out, God, am I going to get over the hump with Dak Prescott? And damn, I like Tony Pollard a lot, but he just got hurt again, and Zeke is willing to take less money, and How, first of all, kind of just talk about that game and what you saw, and second of all, what are they gonna have to do with Dak Prescott and Zeke and whatever else? CeeDee Lamb, get him a real number 2 receiver. Like, what do you think?
I think the first half of the game, the Cowboys, they did all right in my book. It was good. It wasn't until pressure was applied. When pressure was applied, Dak came crumbling down. Dak had no pressure against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looked like we said, Tampa Bay beat themselves, man.
Now we know Tampa Bay was just that bad. Like, that was, I think we asked that last week. Was Tampa Bay that bad? Was the Cowboys that good? Tampa Bay was just trash.
But we also know the 49ers have a good defense and they're going to bring it. Now, right. I know the Cowboys had Jason Peters starting there, and he's like 42 years old,
Oh, what a mistake.
They had some injuries on the O-line. But the one thing that I took away from this, and I've been listening to a lot of people speak about it, and I think you and I will both be in agreement on it, is the Cowboys the game, we'll get to that in a second, but the one thing the Cowboys did that I'm very shocked at is they didn't do anything big when it was time to sign somebody or do something like Jerry Jones is known as being this flashy guy. Money's no issue. We're going to go get this. We're going to go get that. I get Odell. He was probably not going to play. So I understand that not signing that. But now we're in a point where you've got Mike McCarthy as your head coach. And you and I both feel the same way about Mike McCarthy. He'll win you ball games, but he's not that guy that's going to get you to the promised land. So you've got Sean Payton out there. If there's anybody that could retool Dak Prescott and get him where he needs to be, it is definitely a guy like Sean Payton. And I'm pretty sure Sean Payton has been linked to them and has wanted to coach there, but probably not anymore.
It ain't happening. You can't fire a 12-win, back-to-back 12-win seasons. That's grimy. You can't just fire him.
It is grimy, but at the same time, what will it take you to win? The Giants went out and got a new head coach. The Giants, I don't think they got anybody that they signed worth of shit on offense this year. I think they gambled with Saquon and it panned out. The Eagles made the Howie Roseman freaking masterclass. Saw that. All the signings that they did to get better in that division. Washington went out and traded for at least Carson Wentz and stuff. I know the Cowboys had to worry about salary and things like that. I get that, but Jerry Jones is the kind of guy that wants this team to be complete. And the one thing that I feel like they're missing is the guidance, because Dak will show out. And I don't want to take anything away from Kellen Moore, because I think Kellen Moore's a great offensive coordinator. I think when you lose a piece, a transitional piece like a Tony Pollard, that also hurts you too, because now you've got your lightning that's gone. And Tony Pollard is a younger Zeke, and is mobile and is all over the field. I still love Zeke. I think he's a good, serviceable running back.
10 carries, 26 yards. That's serviceable.
That's in the playoffs, that is not serviceable. And when it's your time, and when you're getting paid that kind of money, and you got this hype around you, you got to be better.
Listen, he's gotten worse every single year. He's done. I'm sorry.
It doesn't to me with Zeke. I've always been a fan of him, but it doesn't look like he wants to play football. I feel like in the beginning, it was more I want to go out and party and I don't give a fuck. I'm going to, pull chick shirts down at Mardi Gras, and I'm going to do all this stupid kid shit. And then finally, when it came down to be listen, man, we're honestly thinking about cutting you. We're going to cut you if you don't cut this shit out. And he had that one good year and they paid him. And then after that, it's just been he doesn't look the same, man.
Because what you just said it, they paid him. So they get a lot. Look, yeah. I saw playoff Lenny show up to camp 30 pounds overweight, did not do shit this regular season. Zeke did not do shit this regular season. I'm telling you, Le'Veon Bell got his bag, did not do shit after that. it is hard to stay on top of a running back. That's why, like, they should have had Tony Pollard be their number one back since last season. It's like Tony Pollard's been more explosive since we already know that. You do anything with fantasy football, damn, every time he touches the ball, that's like 10, 15 yards easily, right? So,
Yeah.
like, to me, the thing about the Cowboys, and this is going to plague them until Jerry Jones's eventual demise. He's 80 now, and I don't know when that's going to be, but he is in love with his players too much. He's not a cutthroat like kind of guy. So his system is, I'm gonna have a quarterback, I'm gonna have a head coach that I can puppet, right? They're not gonna say too much. They're not gonna overstep my authority. They're not gonna get in my face. Blah blah blah. So that's why he had Jason Garrett all those 8 and 8 years. That's why he's gonna have Mike McCarthy all these one and done years in the playoffs, right? That's why he fired Jimmy Johnson to go get somebody he could puppet around. So as long as that's formula number one. Number two, if he likes you at quarterback, he's going to ride or die for you. He loved Tony Romo. He loves Dak Prescott. He loved Troy Aikman. Like, he's riding or die for his quarterback, right? And then next, his offensive like star players, Dez Bryant, treats him like a son. Still has Dez Bryant come to the press box, right? Michael Irvin still has Michael Irvin coming to the press box. CeeDee, he loves CeeDee. He loves Zeke. Like, he loves his like star wide receivers because why? They're on commercials. They make the Cowboys get more views on TV. Like, that is his formula, right? He doesn't know how to be like cutthroat. And then, until that happens, this is going to be the fate of the Cowboys every year. They had a chance. They had the best offensive line a couple of years ago. To me, they were on their way. The trajectory was pointing upwards for them, where, damn, they might really get this done. And to me, after this loss, it just proves they're good, but that's it. They've lost to the 49ers 2 years in a row. Like, to me, they're not better than the Eagles. And then, I mean, that's what it comes down to in the NFC right now. You got to be better than a couple of teams. And they're lucky that Aaron Rodgers had an off year and the Bucs had an off year, because there's no other good team left in the NFC. So they benefited off of that. But the Lions are coming. Minnesota, we'll see what happens with Kirk Cousins, but they're still going to be good. So it's just, I don't know, man. They just don't strike any fear. They're just good enough. So Dak's not going anywhere. Zeke, he ain't going anywhere because they love him. So
I think with Zeke, what I can give him like props to is like taking the second fiddle role. I can give him props for that.
Did he really take the second fiddle role?
Yeah, he took the second fiddle role to Tony Pollard, because Tony Pollard was out there doing his thing, and when they needed to change a pace back, Zeke went in there and did it, and they figured that out a couple games into the season. So I'll give Zeke his flowers, but I don't know like what his mentality is to that, because like I told you, I don't think Zeke is invested in football like he should be. I know he probably really is, and he'll say he is, but my assumption, like, I see certain players work harder, and I don't see Zeke with that type of focus.
Look, this year Zeke had 231 carries for 876 yards, right? 231 for 876. Tony Pollard had 193, so 40 less carries for 1,007 yards. That's the problem. Zeke is not being a second fiddle because he had 40 more carries and produced 280 less yards. That's bad. On top of that, he only had 9. He had Tony Pollard had 39 catches for 371 yards. So he had a combined 12 touchdowns. Zeke had 12 touchdowns as well, but 17 receptions for 92 yards. So it's like Tony Pollard is 9.5 yards per catch, like, per reception, and Zeke is 5.4. Like, I'm not even a next level analytics type of person, but that's plain and simple in your face. Like, you don't need I agree. You don't have to be a stat geek.
But like, towards the end of the season, they were riding the Tony Pollard wagon more than they were the Zeke wagon. But Zeke was getting his touches too. But like I'm agreeing with you. You got to give the ball to Pollard. The numbers speak for themselves. And Zeke should be the kind of guy that, okay, Pollard's not doing good. This is my time to show why you got the money. Like, I'm the number one running back here. and it doesn't seem like I see that dog in him. CD Lamb, like he's good, he's really good, and he just like I don't know, like he'll be good some days, and some days he's vanilla yogurt.
The problem with CD is that he doesn't have a number two. Like,
he doesn't.
He is the primary focus every single night. He had a good game, 10 catches, 117 yards, right?
Yeah. Dalton Schultz is that dude too, except for that bonehead play that he made. Like, I don't know what he was thinking there.
So like, who's the number 2 wide receiver on that team?
My guess would be Michael Gallup.
It's supposed to be Michael Gallup. He had 0 catches.
I know.
3 targets.
I watched
T.Y. Hilton just came back from being on hiatus. He's 30 whatever years old. 1 catch, 15 yards. Noah Brown. Who the hell is Noah Brown? 2 catches, 21. Like, they don't have shit. And they got rid of what's his name to Miami. Like
Amari Cooper.
They let Amari go for pennies. Like, and Amari Cooper had another stellar year this year. So it's like the Cowboys don't make any sense to me. Like, they really just don't get it.
I feel like Amari Cooper's like that guy who Amari Cooper reminds me a lot of like, and I'm not comparing like their talent wise and just the way they carry themselves. Amari Cooper reminds me of like Dame Dollar. Like, they don't want to be in the building, but like when they are there, they're gonna fucking produce.
I was gonna say more like Kawhi Leonard, just quiet, do their job and go home. Like, that's it.
I mean, that's the same way Dame is. Dame
going, he's gonna point. He's gonna do some shit.
Him off, he's gonna
Kawhi don't do nothing. Yeah. Nothing. He don't talk to nobody.
Well, Kawhi's not a human being. He's a robot. We know that already.
Oh, yeah.
So I that was a bonehead move for me. Like, because you obviously had that, but I know it was like to shed salary to pay somebody on that team, and I think it was for Dalton Schultz. Like, I get that. Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. In my opinion, I think he's a good tight end. Minus that play that he did right there. That's a big bonehead play. But every time Dak was in panic, Schultz was there to bail him out. He got 2 touchdowns in the game. His targets looking downfield was Dalton Schultz, but then he makes this stupid play.
He only had 1 touchdown.
I thought he had 2.
No, he had 1. 5 catches, 27 yards, 1 touchdown.
The game before, he had 2 touchdowns with
the Bucks. The Bucks game. Yeah.
All right. So he's definitely looking for him a lot. But Dak, I really don't want to put it on Kellen Moore. I don't think Kellen Moore is the problem. I don't think
Dak Prescott is the problem. Like, this play, I'm giving him 50% of the blame. Everything else I'll give to Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, everybody else, Zeke, all that shit. But to me, I'm giving a flat 50 to Dak. Like, Dak, you got to wear this shit. Like, how do you lead the league in interceptions and you miss 5 games? Can you explain that shit to me? How do you lead the league in interceptions and you miss 5 games? That makes absolutely no sense. So, like LaShawn McCoy said, sometimes his play is ass. It's ass. So, and I'm not gonna hold back. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, I'm not being a hater when I say it. I can show you the stats. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he comes up too small for me too many times, and yeah, that's what's gonna be with the Cowboys moving forward. They'll keep Dak because they love Dak. They'll keep Mike McCarthy because they love Mike McCarthy. Dan Quinn's on his way out. He's probably going to get a job with the Broncos, wherever job he wants.
He deserves it, man.
Yeah, Dan Quinn, give that man a job.
He should have never left. Atlanta just like destroyed the roster and depleted it. So what are you going to win with that?
Atlanta
gave up.
They look, man. I don't know who's going to be playing for the Bucks next year, but the South is going to be bad again next year. Like, who? There's no quality team in the South right now. It's a shit show. But moving on. There was obviously 2 other games being played. Patrick Mahomes versus T-Law, Trevor Lawrence, and then Jalen Hurts versus Daniel Jones. So obviously the 2 number 1 seeds were able to take care of business. Kansas City got a little scare right now. We'll figure out what's going on with Patrick Mahomes' high ankle sprain. He says he's good to go for the weekend, so we'll see how that goes. And then obviously, we beat the brakes off of the New York Giants like I expected us to. I mean, the whole time I'm watching that game, I'm on my couch with like my comforter on. I'm just drinking my little whiskey.
Have a little wine like this,
bro. I was so like when I was watching Gardner Minshew. You know that meme where like you're playing video games and you have to lean forward because it's like oh, I gotta like be serious now, right? When I'm watching Jalen Hurts, I'm chilling, man. I'm falling asleep. Like, oh shit, we scored again! Wow, wow. Like so, it's so much easier when you have that kind of guy in your locker room. So moving on to the teams that lost, though, Daniel Jones, the New York Giants have a lot to figure out with his contract, Saquon's contract. They got no receivers. They're gonna have to do some rebuilding on offense. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're kind of ahead of schedule, but at the same time, they're not, because we kind of expected this from Trevor Lawrence. And Doug Peterson came in and made an immediate impact. Between those two, who do you think has a better chance to make the playoffs again next year?
Based on the way the roster is constructed right now, and free agents and things like that, I'm sticking with the Jaguars because that roster is complete. Plus, you're going to add Calvin Ridley in next year, and
forgot about that.
We know he's no slouch.
The AFC is about to be loaded next year.
Yeah, the Giants, they've got to worry about three big pieces there, and it all is surrounded around the offense. Your quarterback, definitely need to go get some receivers because the haystacks, they're haystacks. We've been
I'll say Isaiah was pretty good for the most part. Toward down the stretch. I don't know what he did after that, but
he was, but that's still not a guy that's
it's like when we had Travis Fulgham.
Yeah, exactly. A couple games he was good. You loved him in fantasy, and then when he started doing zero for you, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, this game he had one catch for 3 yards. All the shit he did, and then one catch for 3 yards.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's good to have a security blanket at your 3 or 4, whatever you have. But the Giants got to worry about the quarterback, the receivers, and the running back. And Saquon has showed what he can do since he's been back, and he wants to get paid top dollar.
You're gonna give him a bad with his injury history?
See, that's what I was just about to ask you. What would you do?
I'll put the ball in your court first. Will you give him the bag with his injury history?
But, if I know New York teams very well, which I kind of do, I think they are going to give it to them because that's a panic mode. I think Saquon sells you jerseys. I think Saquon is a threat. I think Saquon is a name that strikes fear when he's on the field. He's definitely who you build your offense around, and he's still. I don't think he's 27 yet, is he? Or is he 28?
I mean, this would be his first big contract, right?
Yeah. So
let's see. I'm on their page right now. Saquon Barkley is 25.9 years, so he's about to turn 26 soon.
Okay, I think you give him the contract. I think the Giants are safe to say that Saquon Barkley is the running back of the future. He definitely
he won't be lazy like Zeke or like Le'Veon Bell or like these other guys. He's actually going to be
He's a guy that I see every year that you see his crazy workouts.
Yeah,
he loves to put those on for you. He's a guy that I feel like you take him out the game and he wants to be there, as opposed to Zeke, who's like, oh, I'm gonna go fucking Ohio State game and watch this. Like, he ain't going to no Penn State games. He's fucking working out on the sidelines. So, I personally, I would give him the bag. He seems like a down to earth guy that I would give the money to.
I wonder what that bag is looking like. Obviously,
he wants 16. He wants 16 annually
because he turned down 12.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the guarantee gonna look like? That's the thing, because they always come with running backs. The yearly salary really doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is how much money they're gonna give him for the guarantee. So Zeke, I think he got like 36 mil guarantee or something like that. Le'Veon Bell had like 28.5, something like that. I'm not sure what they're gonna do on that aspect. Looking at the free agents, Sterling Shepard, Saquon, Daniel Jones, Matt Breida,
Sterling Shepard. Do yourself a favor, wipe your hands with that man and tell him to go see a neurologist about his concussions. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, they got Darius Slayton too. Like, all these guys. Kenny Galladay is still on the roster. I don't know how many of he played any snaps in that playoff game. Like, they overachieved this year, and it's going to come back and bite them in the ass because they shouldn't have been this good this year, because they needed to get another good draft pick. But now they're going to be picking 19, 20 instead of 7, 8, or 9. And I think they kind of just, they I wouldn't say tank obviously, but like they definitely overachieved. Brian Daboll deserves all his love and praise. But to kind of answer my original question, obviously it's the Jags. I mean, just they get back Calvin Ridley next year, like, and he's
That's all
not
you
coming
got.
off of an injury. It's not an ACL injury or anything. He's coming back fresh with probably more money in his pocket because he gambles too much. Like he's coming back with a clear head. That's it. I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna get reinstated and everything like that. So, it's yeah. I mean, the Giants. I mean, the Cowboys are still gonna be another 10, 11, 12 win team next year. Like we already know that. The Eagles, I think, will bring back enough people to be just, not maybe as dominant, but still be good. And I think Washington is on its way to be better. Like Chase Young didn't play pretty much the whole season. They got to figure out quarterback. So, if they figure out quarterback in Washington and they can stay healthy on defense, I think Washington's already a better team to me than New York. So I don't know, man. I don't know how the Giants going to look next year. More
Would you
powerful.
pay? Would you pay Saquon though?
I mean, I would want him on my team. I'd much rather have him on my team than anybody else in the NFC, for example. Like, I don't want to see him. He'll come back and give me 200 yards. I don't want to see that. But I got to be like, I got to come like I have a come to, look, man, look, you've been injured. Like, you've had bad injuries in your first few years in the league. This year you had a pretty good year. What does his stats look like this year? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna show his agent the stats, right? They're gonna be like, all right, look,
If
injury history.
If he wins comeback player of the year, then does he have leverage?
Who else would be up for that?
Gino?
Oh, I'll give that shit to Gino.
I mean, I would too. But if everyone loves a New York Miracle story or something like that,
I'm giving that shit to Gino because it's not like Gino did anything in the last 10 years of his career. He came here and had a career like out of nowhere. Saquon, in the other hand, he had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Pretty good season.
Fourth in yards.
57 receptions, 338 yards. That's very impressive as well. So combined 1,600 yards, all-purpose yards. That's fantastic. So I can sell that if I can say like his injuries were kind of fluke injuries. I can sell that. I'll pay him. I'll give him a contract. I probably wouldn't give him. I don't know what the guarantees is looking like right now. Let's see who's getting the highest guaranteed salary right now. Because I am very curious who's getting that.
At running back?
Oh shit! Damn, 31 million. Saquon? Oh shit! He already getting paid. Oh. All right. Okay. Here we go. Zeke, as of right now, he was guaranteed at signing 28 million when he got signed. Christian McCaffrey got 30 million guaranteed at signing when he got signed. Kamara is 22 million. Chubb is only 17 million. I can't pay him less. I can't pay him more than Chubb. So it's like, I'll give him like, about 25 mil guaranteed, 4-year contract, 14 mil a year.
I'd pay the guy. That. I'd pay the guy. Now the other question is, would you pay Daniel Jones?
Depends on how much. What?
Who would you rather pay, Daniel Jones or Saquon? I'm sure they're going to find a way to keep them both.
If I had a choice, and it sounds crazy, I'm paying the quarterback because it's easy to replace running back in this league. I mean, running back by committee has become a thing. You get to, once those knees get older when you're 26, 27, 28, just naturally off wear and tear. You get one of these Bijan Robinsons out of college, fresh legs. He comes in and dominates for the next 4 years. Like we have, I mean, what's his name? Miles Sanders is on a contract here too, and I don't know. We have Kenneth Gainwell who looks just as explosive. There's good running backs in the draft. I would love to keep Miles Sanders, but if it's going to cost us too much, Jalen Hurts is going to be getting $55 million a year in the next year or two, right? I'd much rather pay the quarterback because it's hard to find a quarterback. It's so hard, and then they didn't suck enough to get buddy from Alabama, Bryce Young, or that's his name, right?
Yeah.
when we had Tony on, they kept saying Bryce Love, and I was like, I'm like, yo, is it Bryce Love or Bryce Young? But Bryce Young, Ohio State cat, C.J. Stroud, they didn't suck enough to get one of these top quarterbacks. So they're gonna have to try to do like what the Eagles did and find a gem in the second or third round. Otherwise, you got to give Daniel Jones his money. I think I would franchise Daniel Jones from now. It's not like he has any injury history. He's got to prove himself to me. If I'm the GM, like, look, you had one good year with Dayball. I got to see it again. But if I had a choice, I'm paying. You pay the quarterback, but it's just that's what you do. The running back, you figure the running back out, but you pay the quarterback, like plain and simple. So I mean, look, Christian McCaffrey is top 3 running back in the league, right? Maybe 5, whatever. However you slice him, right? He left Carolina, and the running backs did not take the running game in Carolina did not take a dip. The Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, they replaced it really well. Those two combined played just as good as Christian McCaffrey would. So you'll figure it out at running back in this league. I mean, DeAndre Swift came into the Detroit Lions season to be the featured back, and Jamal Williams led the league in touchdowns. Like, running back will figure itself out. That's just how it works. So I pay the quarterback, and just leave it at that. So yeah, no offense to Saquon. I love Saquon Barkley. If he wasn't a Giant, I'll love him even more. But he's a Giant, But I do love Saquon. But I'm paying the quarterback, bro. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. All right. Conference championship weekends. We got some intriguing matches. On one spectrum, we got Joe Burrow once again versus Patrick Mahomes. And last year, we really thought there was no way Cincinnati was going to beat Patrick Mahomes twice. Because remember, they beat him like a couple weeks before that. And like I think Jamar Chase had like 260 yards or something like that. And they came back to their crib and beat him again, right? And now this year they came back. No, did they play him? They didn't play him this year, did they? No. Anyway, Joe Burrow's 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes, long story short, right? And now he's coming back to their crib again with a hobbled Patrick Mahomes. More power to him for gutting it out during that game. Chad Henne had a 98-yard drive. More power to him as well. That drive by Henne, by the way, is proof that there's like there's a lot of racist owners and shit like that, because Eric Bieniemy should have a job. Like, come on now. Like, Chad Henne led a 98-yard drive. Like, come on now. That's beautiful. So, I speak on my Andy Reid love, you know what I mean? I still think Andy Reid is the greatest coach of all time. He proves it time and time again. He may not have the hardware, but if he had Tom Brady for 20 years, anyway, that's besides the point. Break down this game for me. Cincinnati versus Kansas City.
Cincinnati and Kansas City did play this year, and Cincinnati beat Kansas City 27-24.
They did? What week was that?
Hold on. I remember it.
Because I know they played Josh Allen in them, but they lost to Josh Allen.
12-4. I don't know what week that is. It was in December.
Oh.
They did play Josh Allen and lost to Josh Allen too.
Oh shit.
So man, this is a hard one for me. Like you said, Bieniemy, I don't understand why he's not getting calls to be a head coach.
You're absolutely right, by the way. Damn, 27-24. Crazy.
I don't know if it's like his mature level or what, because like I've seen him like being really, animated on the sidelines, but it's you're in a game. Like I get that.
Yeah,
I get
passionate coach.
Exactly.
Have you watched Nick Sirianni? You want to see animated? Like Nick Sirianni be super extra on the sideline.
Yeah, look at Dan Campbell too, man.
Exactly.
But why no one's calling him? I truly do not understand. How many years does this guy have to do it and go to the AFC Championship? What, five
straight times? 5 straight times they've been in the AFC Championship game.
So it doesn't make any sense to me. This guy should be a head coach candidate. People should be wanting to sign him, but I get defensive minds, maybe win you championships, maybe. Maybe
Ain't no
that's it.
defensive coaches getting hired. The young offensive coaches are getting hired right now. Cincinnati did it. Obviously,
Ryan's
McVay,
Ryan
Sirianni.
D'Amico Ryan's is getting looked at.
Well, D'Amico Ryan's got the best defense in the league, so he should be getting looked at. Him and Dan Quinn, for sure, should be getting looked at. But if you're going to hire all these Zach Taylors and all these young offensive minds as well, you got to. There's no reason why Nathaniel Hackett got a job over Eric Bieniemy. Like, let's be honest. What the hell has Nathaniel Hackett ever done in this league that you remember? Oh, Nathaniel Hackett called a good game, but Eric Bieniemy, we don't hear shit about him. So.
We'll always remember him as being the guy that's always passed up on, and I don't get it. But anyways, this game it's going to be a very good game. I think Kansas City isn't the type of team that we can ever like count them out. Like, they're not going to Buffalo. We never say Kansas City is going to Kansas City. That team knows how to play well together. That team, they know their roles. In any given Sunday or Saturday or whatever day it is, somebody could come up big for them, not just named Travis Kelce. So, man, it's hard because we don't know what's going on with Mahomes. I know he's practicing today.
You say he playing. He don't give a shit. He playing.
He's playing.
You saw him on the sideline. He was like, "Bruh,
he's ready to go.
You are not keeping me out this game."
I never see Patrick Mahomes get angry, and
that's my dog right there for that. Yeah, I love it more. I was like, for real. You don't see that these days anymore with all these young Gen Z kids. They're so worried about their image and their brand. I remember Jay Cutler 10 years ago riding on his little exercise bike on the sideline while Chicago's getting their ass beat by Aaron Rodgers because he had a little fake injury. That's why I hate Jay Cutler, by the way. But Mahomes, that's my dog.
Hey, I feel for Jay Cutler. I could talk about that forever.
He's a bum. Sorry, my bad.
Cigarettes, man. I got no beef with the guy. Anyways,
bum.
It's tough. It's a tough game because Joe Cool's going to go in there, and Joe Burrow is like the kind of guy that everything is silent around him, and he's painting. He's literally painting the Sistine Chapel for us. He's painting the Mona Lisa for us of how good he's going to be as a quarterback. And it's a tough one for me, man. I feel like it's going to be a very close game. Once again, like, I feel like both of these games are going to be, there's going to be no blowouts. There's not going to be 7-38 type wins. They're going to be neck and neck, throwing daggers for daggers, defense stepping up, because I feel like both offenses for both teams are pound for pound. They can go blow for blow with each other. And the defense is the same thing, blow for blow with each other. There's nobody that like really sticks out on the Cincinnati defense, and I'm like, oh my god, that guy is. I ain't
gonna lie, man. Hendrickson and Hubbard.
Oh, they're
making plays, dog.
They are making plays. They are, but you're not like all year. You've been like, this guy is like the focal point. It's just like we know Chris Jones and Frank Clark are good up front. They're really good up front.
Well, I'll say Chris Jones, out of all the defensive players on the field, he stands out. Like he's the guy. Well, he couldn't get Joe Burrow down last year in the playoffs. Remember, he had him wrapped up. And Joe Burrow, like you said, just so calm and collected, just gets out of, bro. He's a dog, bro. He's a dog.
He is a dog, especially for Chris Jones to try and wrap you up. Man, I like no neutral site either. It's at Arrowhead, isn't it?
Arrowhead.
That Arrowhead.
Just like last year was at Arrowhead. Joe didn't care.
They get your refunds.
Joe did not care. Yo, what the hell were they thinking?
So you saw Joe Burrow this weekend when they asked
get your refunds. But like, and then what the hell with the Bills and like, look, I understand, but like, don't be. How many tickets did they buy? Like 50,000 or shit like that. Like,
passionate.
Bro,
it's cold in Buffalo. They got apples and cold weather. That's it. And Benny the Butcher and Griselda. That's it.
Yeah.
But then they got a clip of him saying, "I'm him" on the field, and they asked him. He's like, "Bro, you black out sometimes when you're out there." Like, I didn't know he said that. Fucking great answer right there from a guy.
Man, we fanboy over my dog right now.
I'm fans of both of them. I want to see.
Me too. That's why like it's hard to pick a dog in this fight.
It is. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I know Mahomes is banged up, man, but I'm still sticking with him. I really don't care who wins this game. Both players, I'm excited to watch. Give me Kansas City 27-24 or 27-26. Give me that.
26.
27.
That's such an ugly number.
It
You don't
is.
see that in football.
I know.
All right.
27-24, 26.
All right, man. Cincinnati is on the road, and they're still 1.5 point favorites. And you know the home team pretty much automatically gets like a 3 point edge, right? So basically,
Mhm.
Vegas knows some shit that we don't know, and part of it is like that high ankle sprain is a tricky one, man. Like that's a tricky injury. Like sometimes it doesn't hurt, sometimes it does hurt. You saw like there were some players who was able to take off and run a little bit, and then there was some plays he couldn't like, because you throw the ball off your back foot, that shit's got to stick. You know what I mean? And you got people Hubbard and Hendrickson and all. I'll be blitzing this shit. Like, look, if I'm the defensive coordinator, we blitzing the shit out of Patrick Mahomes. Even if he rips us apart in the beginning, eventually he can't take all them hits. You know what I mean? Like that ankle is not going to hold up. I'll just blitz the shit out of him. So with that being
That O
said,
line is really good too. That O line is really good. They showed
yeah,
all their credentials. When they're
yeah,
like, Orlando Brown, whatever school they went to,
yeah,
they were all like top 10 in position.
yeah.
Almost
No,
every
that's
one of them. I think one guy was like 20 or something.
and yeah, and the over
I'd
under
be
right now is
targeting him.
the over under right now is at 47.5, which is kind of like a low scoring game, but it's the playoffs, which makes sense, right? Picking with my heart, I love them both. That's the thing. Like I really love Joe Burrow. I really love Patrick Mahomes. If the Eagles are fortunate to get to the Super Bowl, if we have to take an L, those are the only two people I don't mind taking an L to. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, I don't mind losing to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and I don't mind losing to Joe Burrow. It's like at the end of the day, if I had to lose, it better not be Tom Brady, better not be, Jay bum ass Cutler, better not be Dak Prescott,
Keller's gone.
better not be Daniel Jones. All right, I'm done. But man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rock with Cincinnati, man.
I got no beef with it. I got no beef with it.
Because they're healthier.
They are healthy.
They have more firepower. And we talk about Kansas City's experience, and we didn't think Cincinnati had the experience last year to do it. Oh, now they got the experience. Now they got the experience. Now what? Like there's nothing left for us to say about the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got to think. I mean, their offensive line is still kind of trash, but it didn't matter to them last year, and has not mattered to them this year. And even when they got to that slow start, they were 0-2, and we were like, yeah, maybe it was
Bro,
a
I was just
fluke.
about to say that.
Maybe it was a fluke.
Bro,
Nah,
they fooled me, and then they fooled me again, bro. Like they fooled me again. I was like, yo, this team was they fooled me last year. And then they start off with what they won like 3 of their first like 6 games or something like that, or something like and then just took off, man. So
you know what's scary though? The two hottest teams right now are the San Francisco 49ers, 10 wins in a row, and the Cincinnati Bengals, 8 wins in a row. So they haven't felt the taste of defeat since what? November, October? Like they just been out there just killing everybody, right? And I mean, they went to Buffalo 27-10. Like they made them look like shit. And I can't just expect them not to go to the Arrowhead and do the same thing because, again, Mahomes is a little banged up. They don't have the threat of the big play anymore with Tyreek Hill. So I'm just going to be doubling Tyreek. I don't know. Travis Kelce is fucking amazing, right? But, like, he can only do so much. Like, yeah, he had like, 15, 17 catches or whatever the other day. They still only won by a touchdown. So, like, against a really young Jacksonville team. So, I'm gonna have to rock with Cincy on this one, man. I'm not gonna be happy or sad either way. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's just I'm just going off of who's the hotter team, and Cincinnati's the hotter team. Joe Burrow is man. He's the new guy, and he's the new sheriff. And the whole thing this year for us has been like the young quarterbacks are taking over. It's there now. Like look at the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs right now. Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts,
nobody
Patrick
over
Mahomes.
30.
Huh?
Nobody over 30.
Nobody over 30. No, bro, like Aaron Rodgers didn't even make the playoffs. Tom Brady got destroyed by Dak Prescott. I mean, like Russell Wilson didn't make it. Like Matt Stafford couldn't make it through the season. And there's no old quarterbacks anymore. It's just like the youth is finally here and it's time to push everybody out. But Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Joey B, Joe Shiesty. I mean, he's him. So we got them plugging him to the Super Bowl. Now we move on to the NFC. Obviously, I have a very deep interest in this game. I'm wearing this Batman shirt for a reason, actually, because that's the theme. That's been the theme for us this year. We got skinny Batman, Devontae Smith. We got swole Batman, AJ Brown, and then we got fly Batman, Darius Slay, and then we got Jason Kelsey, the brother of Travis Kelsey, who's just as dominant at his position as Travis Kelsey is at his position. Jalen Hurts is just so calm. It just like you can just see the calm he has on our team. And then you have and then our defense has been fantastic. We get up to the quarterback and 70 sacks. It's amazing. And then you have the 49ers. And they're like the bullies of the West. Like they've been bullying teams for the last 3 months. What say you? And you don't have to be nice to me. I want you to be very honest. I want you to be very honest because like I genuinely am like the Giants I was not concerned about. I am genuinely I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I'm genuinely concerned about the 49ers if they make it to the NFC Championship game. So floor is yours.
Another blow for blow game, man. I think it's gonna be blow for blow, but
and real quick, I'm sorry. We definitely got the 4 best teams in the championship game to me. Like to me, this is no fluke year. The 4 best teams finally made it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams, like I think the Eagles, I said, have been the most complete team all year. I think we both can agree on that. You know, I know you're a fan, but I think being realistically, they've been the most complete team. 49ers, after they went and got that white boy.
He's not white. He's clear.
Oh, that boy's white. He's clear,
He's not white. He's clear. He's light-skinned.
He's not light-skinned. He's clear. He's translucent. But once they got Christian McCaffrey, it was like, now you're complete. You've got everything. You got everything that you need. I feel like every position, for the most part, outside of the quarterback, but even with the quarterback play that's going on in San Francisco right now, everything matches up well for each team. I still think Jalen Hurts is still a more superior running back than Brock Purdy, but I'm talking about his like mistakes, winning percentage, leadership, all of that. Roll it into one. Both of them have it. Brock Purdy is a pretty humble dude. He's not like letting this get to him. He's going after every game. After he answers those questions, he goes to the stands, hugs mom and dad, and then goes to the locker room. So
because he's playing with house money.
He's playing with house money. He's got a $19,000 signing bonus.
Signing bonus.
But oh man, I see this kind of like the Cincinnati game, because if you look at the San Francisco defense, they definitely got exposed against the Cowboys. I mean, they definitely were. Cowboys were able to get ahead at one or put themselves in position to win and pick apart things, but the Cowboys are going to cowboy, man.
Yep, as usual.
Insert your Stephen A. Smith meme, whatever you want. But I feel like the Eagles can easily do a better job of exposing the 49ers defense than the Cowboys can. If anybody can pick apart that defense, it'll be Jalen Hurts and those offensive weapons. And Philly's defense has been pretty stout. They allowed 7 points against the Giants. You know, both defenses are not slouches. I mean, I'm going to see another shootout again. I'm going to call it close. I'm going to say 26-23.
You got this 26 number just stuck in your head. You can't get that shit out your head.
We're not going past 30 with both of these teams. I don't think we go past 30.
Yeah, no, these are 2 of the top 5 defenses in the league. So, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I see 26-23 field goal Philadelphia.
Man, so as an Eagles fan, you know, this is going to be tough. Because, again, the one team, I've been saying this since like week 6, 5, maybe, San Francisco, that's the collision course. Luckily, you know, we got that. Not as a fan, I would much rather have the Bucks or some shit, easy shit.
The Cowboys.
But, or the Cowboys, I don't give a shit. But, but for real, like, looking at the San Francisco side, Debo, that man is good. Christian
Oh, and can
McCaffrey.
we can we can we give George Kittle some fucking
I was
flowers for
about to
that?
get to him.
My
We're here.
lord,
We're here. We're
my
here.
lord,
We're
what a
here.
catch!
We're here. Look, George Kittle, like, I thought he was starting to fall off a little bit, like last year or something. I'm like, he's not a top 3 guy anymore.
He's top 3 still, man.
Nah, bro. He's put himself in position to once
You know
again
what's
be
funny?
him.
I thought the same thing because remember that one year, all they did was target him. It was him, and then Debo
Yeah.
shows up, and then
Yeah.
he gets hurt. He goes down like he had a mediocre year, and then boom, dude, he's definitely a key piece. He's their Travis Kelce for sure.
And during this streak that they've had of 12 wins in a row, whatever it is, he's been, to me, George Kittle has been the reason why Brock Purdy's been successful. Like, he obviously the running game helps, and
what do I always preach about young quarterbacks? What do they need as a security?
they need a good tight end. They got to be able to. They need a security blanket. And talk about a security blanket. I mean, shit. He's been really like him this year again. He's back to being George Kittle that I remember him to be. The running game, they 10 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown for McCaffrey, 14 for 51 for Elijah Mitchell, 4 for 11 for Debo. I mean, he got Brock Purdy ran, Kyle Juszczyk. They gonna run the ball with whomever, right? And for the Eagles, we got to find somebody who's going to be able to guard George Kittle. Our safeties are not strong enough. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a thumper, but he's still kind of small. And then our linebackers are not fast enough. I mean, they're not going to. N'Kobe Dean can't come into the game because he's too small, but he's fast enough. And there's going to be Edwards, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to pick the Eagles to win the game because I have to. I have to.
Man, bro, of course.
If I have, the reason why I'm going to pick us to win the game is because I think everything that San Francisco is good at, we're just as good or better than them at. So running the football, San Francisco is a great running football team, right? They don't got a Jalen Hurts. Brock Purdy's not a Jalen Hurts. So like, realize, well, Jalen Hurts is quarterback and he gets the snap, the defense has to think like an extra 2 seconds. Is he going to throw the ball? Is he going to hand the ball off? Or is he going to take it off and run by himself, right? That's a lot of thinking for a defense to do. And they're going to have the 49ers don't have anybody on their roster to play quarterback that can scout that this week because they're going to have to mimic in practice what Jalen Hurts does. Trey Lance's ankle's messed up, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not that guy. So they don't have anybody who can. They don't have a way to practice for that. And then Miles Sanders and Gainwell and Boston Scott and Jalen Hurts as a unit, to me, is just as, Chris McCaffrey may be the best running back out of all that group, but that's it. I mean, Elijah Mitchell's good, but he's not significantly better than Miles Sanders or anything. I'll take Miles Sanders over Elijah Mitchell personally. And then Jalen Hurts, I'll take Jalen Hurts over Elijah Mitchell. I mean, as a running back, I'll just keep it real. And then, 2, Brock Purdy, I get he's having a fantastic run right now, but he's got to come to Lincoln Financial Field and shut up the Eagles fans for 3 hours. Good luck, bro. Like, for real, it's going to be tough for him to do that. I hope. I hope at least. Yeah, he's been real calm, but he didn't look that good against the Cowboys. Like, let's be honest. He was what was his stat line? 19 for 29, 214 yards, no touchdown, no picks. He's not making mistakes, but Trevon Diggs did drop an interception that hit him right in the hands. So
yeah, I was like, whoa, they should have traded him last year when all that hype was around him.
Exactly. And now with the Cowboys, we got the blueprint from the Cowboys. Like, oh, the Cowboys held up to 19 points. All we got to do for us is score 27 to me. Against the 49er defense is going to be tough, but I'm gonna rock with us 24-20. 24-20. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna have a good, like, as long as we're not doing stupid shit and trying to get too cute because Sirianni I said the
But
same shit about Harbaugh with Michigan. Don't get too cute. We should be able to win. So,
that's exactly what happened against the Giants. Like they saw the commanding lead. He didn't have to do anything. Like everyone's
yeah,
like, oh, he threw it for like 150 yards or whatever. But
yeah, we ran for 244.
exactly, he threw no interceptions and he threw like 2 touchdowns. So
Yeah,
can I tell you the one thing that killed me in that game that I was just like, fuck, I feel so bad for this guy. Every running back got a touchdown, but
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
But look, I know last year that was a running joke or whatever. He balled this year. He got his touchdowns this year.
Oh, he did. He
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't think I don't think he really cared this time. I think
I don't think he does either.
yeah, like this, like.
But I'm like,
First of all,
definitely.
First of all, Boston Scott had to score a touchdown. Like
he's the giant killer.
He is the giant killer. His small ass is the giant killer. So that was just rubbing it in their face. Kenneth Gainwell got crazy on the sideline for his touchdown. Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. And then Pastor Goddard was nice. Devontae Smith is amazing. And the other thing is that A.J. Brown didn't even have a good game. So he's going to be extra motivated to play in this next game. And, if CeeDee Lamb went for 10 catches, 103 yards or whatever it was, I think A.J. Brown, swole Batman, and skinny Batman, Devontae Smith is going to be just as effective. And then I like our defense. Like, Brock Purdy has not seen a pass rush like ours. He has not seen a pass on the road. He's going to be on the road with our pass rush.
And secondary like yours either, man. Good second.
Bradbury, oh my God, what a steal that was. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, oh, God, what a steal that was. And then we got Blankenship, the white kid that's playing the slot and playing some safety. Bro, he's a dog too. Like, and I wonder if No, bro, you're not watching. I've been watching him since he got inserted to the lineup. He's a dog. Bro, you got like a thing against white football players.
No, I don't. I told you.
I hear it, bro. I hear it.
My racism stems in football at certain positions, bro. But he's a dog. Him and Harrison Smith definitely are pretty good out there. That one dude the one dude who was a DB for the Chiefs. Don't come with me with that shit. That guy was trash.
Yeah, we weren't talking about that. We're talking about my boy. And then Avonte Maddox, he returned to practice today. If he's playing in the slot,
he's a really good slot.
It's locked down, bro. It's locked down. So I'm going to take us 24-20.
It's going to be. They're both going to be really good games.
Yeah.
They're both going to be really good games, and Jimmy Garoppolo isn't supposed to play. They already ruled him out, or McDaniel said that he doesn't expect him to play. But at what point?
Shanahan.
God, I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up all the time. But if we were to see a shit show from Purdy in a panic mode, which I don't think we're going to see because this guy's like cool, calm, collective.
Yeah.
I just think the better team is going to win. Garoppolo could come in there easily and do what Jimmy Garoppolo does, play as vanilla yogurt and win the game. But not going to have that. That works to your advantage too in case something does happen to Brock Purdy. Who the fuck is the next guy up, man? Yeah. Who's the next guy up? So,
and it comes down to whoever makes mistakes, any mistake in this game, that's what it's going to come down to, in my opinion. Like, you can't turn the ball over in this type of football game.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Brock Purdy is going to be more susceptible to throw an interception or fumble the ball because, again, it's going to be loud. And the snap count is going to be off. Like, everything's going to be complicated. And this is a big moment for him. He wasn't dealing with this kind of shit in college, I tell you that. So I'm rocking with Fly. My Eagles will go fly high. And I'm praying that we make it to the Super Bowl so that I can be on for the next 2 weeks. I'll be on like real quiet because I get nervous about the Super Bowl, obviously. So we'll see. So that's for wrap with football right now. So it's out of my veins. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right. We haven't gotten too much NBA talk this year, but it's starting to heat up now. The All-Star starting lineup is about to be released.
This is cool. Tomorrow. I like the way they're doing.
Yo, tell the people what they decided to do finally.
So apparently KD pitched this. Apparently KD is the one who pitched it. That the All-Star game selection of the teams as opposed to East and West like it used to be. Then they went to a team captain, the most from the East and the West gets to pick the starting lineup squad. They're going to do it before the game. So I'm pretty content with that. I think it's like pickup basketball, make it
That's
fun.
exactly what it is. And now you don't have time to prepare. You just pick your players and let's go. And somebody's feelings. It's one thing when it's on the TV and you get picked last. It's another thing when everybody's watching you get picked last on the basketball court. Somebody's feeling gonna get hurt, and then they're gonna drop 50 in the All-Star game just to show like I was the last pick. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. That's gonna be fun. But besides the point, there are a few All-Star caliber type of players right now, or All-Star players who are either coming back from injury soon or in a couple of weeks or whatever. So Anthony Davis is going to come back to a Laker team that clearly needs him. I mean, LeBron last night, God, man, he had 46 and not 8 and 7 again, and still lost by 20.
Like this on the bench,
bro. He was on the bench, like, bro. This is what the shit I got to deal with, bro. Like, It's crazy what he's doing at 38. Like, can we just get this man like his respect? Everybody likes to hate on him. Like, when it becomes to debates, Michael Jordan, LeBron sucks. That's always the argument. He's not Michael, he's not Kobe. Like, bro, I don't know why it's so hard to praise 2 or 3 people at the same time.
We could talk this all day. We could talk this all day. We get it. I know. I'm with you on that. The guy is annoying. It's sad that they like exclude him out of the MVP too, because if the Lakers were winning, they'd be like, "Oh, LeBron at this age at MVP." Like,
bro, what he's doing right now, sheesh, that's MVP.
He did last year too, and the year before.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You can give it to him every year. You're good technically, but they won't because it's not a good story. But
they did make a trade. They went and got that guy from Washington who
Hachimura. I am a fan of him.
I am too.
How much of an impact do you think him coming and then Anthony Davis returning from injury tonight actually against the Spurs? How much of an impact do you think those two are going to for the Los Angeles Lakers?
You got to see how you're going to play them. Like, where is Anthony Davis going to play the center position, or is he going to play the power forward position?
I don't think he's playing the center because they're trying to preserve his body, and he's not trying to bang with Jokic. He ain't trying to bang with these big boys. I think they're going to try to have Thomas Bryant and Wayman Gabriel over the last couple of weeks. They've played very good basketball. I think they keep Thomas Bryant in a lineup at the 5. Let AD play the 4 like he's always wanted to because he doesn't want to deal with these. He doesn't want to bang with these guys down low. He put LeBron at the 3. And I think you bring Hachimura off the bench and have him come in that group with Russell because
he did play with Russ.
So did Thomas Bryant. Mm-hmm. So it's like the Washington Wizards are coming over to the Lakers. Nothing to be excited about with that, but I mean he does have familiarity with Russ. I think Russ, he's had an up and down season, but I did tell y'all in the beginning of the year, if Russell Westbrook comes off the bench, he'll win 6th Man of the Year, and I think he's going to win 6th Man of the Year this year. But I think with Anthony Davis coming back, they can't rush him. They just can't. They can't speed up his because they're 22 and 26, right? But they're only 2.5 games back from 6th place. So it's like the West is so mumble jumble right now that nothing is really. No teams are really separated from each other there, except for like the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, or for example. But I think Anthony Davis is going to be a welcome sight for LeBron to have. I think Hachimura is going to be because they had so many guards anyway. Kendrick Nunn was starting to figure it out, but Patrick Beverley is starting to play a little bit better. They still got Russ off the bench. They still got Schroeder, who I think has been playing phenomenal this year. He lost out on that bag a couple years ago, for real. He's trying to make that money back because he's playing like a dog again. And then they still have, Austin Reeves hasn't played in a couple weeks. Lonnie Walker hasn't played in a couple weeks. So they got enough guard play. They needed a 3. Now, I wanted them to go get like a Bogdanovic from Detroit, Jeremy Grant last year.
He's a spot-up shooter, so that's what they needed to get. Yeah. So that's a get for them. They need more wing presence, so we'll see if they can get some other damn, it's raining outside. See if we can get some
it's gonna be cold tomorrow. That's why.
woo, baby.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be a good day for golf on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you're
Anyways,
right. And Gasparilla.
it's yeah, it's trade deadline's not done, and I expect the Lakers to make some more moves. Nothing like huge or big like that, but I think they're gonna make some moves. I'm finally happy Kendrick. If I see one more Kendrick Nunn stat with the Lakers, like I was gonna lose it, bro. Like get that guy out of there.
Yeah.
You know, let him go flourish somewhere else. I'm sorry it didn't work out with the Lakers, but put him somewhere else.
I mean, he missed the whole last year with a weird deep bruise or some shit like that. Like I don't know what was going on with that.
But we're way off topic with the Anthony Davis thing. Anthony Davis, like he is literally whatever to me now, bro. Because like the vibe I get from him is like kind of like Zeke. Like I got paid. Like I don't. If I play,
I don't want to put him in that category.
I see that with him, bro. Like I literally see that type of mentality from him. Like you saw when he came back and he said that, oh, I ain't played basketball in like 3 months or something like that. Like what the fuck are you saying? We saw the championship hangover. We said he doesn't look right. He doesn't looks like fat, or he doesn't look like basketball shape.
Yeah,
we've seen him before. Like LA got to his head, man, and then I have the LA hat on.
It gets to everybody's head. That's the problem. You have to be tough up there to play in LA. You see Kuzma, he goes from LA to Washington. He's a star again. Like Lonzo Ball, he went to Pelicans in Chicago. He played much better. Like it's hard to play in Los Angeles. Look at Julius Randle. Julius Randle went from LA to New York, and he's playing a lot better.
Julius Randle was balling in LA, but
this is a lot better.
I know he's playing a lot, but he was also like just butting into that.
Yeah,
He got to play
course.
with Kobe, and then they pushed him out when LeBron came in.
Yeah,
but like Julius Randle was becoming a star. He was definitely becoming that, but they wanted to go get.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The Lakers
hard.
they get all these big stars and put in the and LeBron James is like the only mindset that I feel like is like I know what the job, and I feel like Russell Westbrook is too, but Russ is just not producing like we know. We figured out Russell Westbrook finally.
We get what we
like
get.
He's entertaining, but
yeah,
we get him exactly. But Anthony Davis, like if you play, you play. If not, the Lakers better be looking to get Miles Turner or something like that ASAP. And it's because like this dude, bro. How many clips do I send you on social media of him slipping? And as a Lakers fan, you got to be like, oh my God, please don't tear something. Or he went up for a dunk and hung on the rim and came back down and his side was hurting. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like I understand big men get hurt easily, but
not like this.
Same thing like you and I agree on, bro. This is what I love about you. This is how nitty and gritty we agree on shit. Why do you wear low top shoes as a big man? Why do you?
Well, they taught me that in the sixth. They taught me that in the sixth grade. Sixth grade.
Why?
Like
makes no
sixth
sense.
grade, I knew that. So like, come on, bro, you're not a guard. You're not a guard. I know you want to dribble the ball and shoot, but you're not a guard, bro.
I think all in all, though, with Anthony Davis back, if we get finally a healthy Anthony Davis and a Rui Hachimura also playing, I think the Lakers' trajectory could slowly start going like the Price is Right up the mountaintop. I think it's a good transition up because that second unit outside of Russ and I mean Wayne Gabriel's been balling a little bit lately. I've been starting to pick up and watch more basketball now. But Wayne Gabriel ain't that dude. Like he sucks at free throws. He's not a good free throw shooter. Who's the one who Brown? Like he's okay, but
Troy Brown.
He's just not
Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker have been out. They were pretty good.
Lonnie Walker, I've always been a fan of. I've always been a good fan, and I think he's come out of the right tutelage of Pop and then put it in the hands of the Lakers of a guy that's not selfish, that knows how like to play a good fundamental game of basketball, and then you go to LeBron. So I think that's another good player, but I think the second unit will be a little bit more complete with a little bit younger players now. So,
and I heard, and I'm looking at some rumors, and Bojan Bogdanovic is still their top target. So they're still trying to snag him. Now they get somebody like him. Now, all right, that's a 3-point shooter because last night when the Clippers just shot him out the gym, if it wasn't for LeBron making nine threes, that 3-point discrepancy, what's the word? 3-point difference would have been a lot more because I mean they just came out the gym. They made 15 threes in the first half. Like, come on, that's 45 points from just 3-pointers. So yeah, the Clippers, they did what they're supposed to do. The Lakers need to find a way to kind of match that kind of production. So they need to get as much 3-point shooting as possible if they want to compete in this version of the NBA. All right, Kevin Durant. They're looking at him to come back in like 2 weeks. They slipped a little bit, but Kyrie starting to ball again. You know, he's dropping buckets. So, Brooklyn obviously was on a roll before he got hurt. So, what do you think Kevin Durant could do for the Brooklyn Nets in a couple weeks?
Man, fuck Kyrie, man.
Let it go. Let it go.
I hate them. They're fine. Who gives a fuck? I did see a rumor today that they're trying to trade veteran players like Joe Harris, Claxton, Seth Curry to try and get another player over there. Like
they're trying to do this shit again. Another big three.
I saw that today.
It's working. Let it go.
I know, I get that. I get that. It makes no sense to me. Like, how much more talent do you need? And it used to be to beat LeBron.
Yeah.
Now it's like now they're just pissed that they got swept by the Celtics. So it's like, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
KD returning is definitely a plus, but the Nets are okay. They're sitting pretty. They're good. Like
they're gonna be in that mix.
Yeah, and when KD returns, they're gonna get fucking slaughtered the opponent. So
we'll see. All right, let's look at Devin Booker. So the Suns, the Suns have been in some type of a whirlwind. He's coming back, and I think in a couple weeks as well. Right now they're sitting at 25 and 24, which would be a play-in game. DeAndre Ayton's a little banged up too. Mikal Bridges has been having to carry the load. Cam Johnson just got back. You think Phoenix is going to be buyers or sellers in this trade deadline? And you think they can get back to the winning ways? Huh?
That's what I was about to say. Is they're linked to being sellers too as well. I've seen Bridges' name thrown out there for players to go and get, or that's out there to get, because contract and things like that. I think it's his contract year this year, so he's one. I've seen Sarek as another. I don't know who else, but I just know that I've seen that. Devin Booker coming back will definitely be a pivotal point for them because they need a dominant scorer. Because DeAndre Ayton's soft, like he's just soft.
I don't call him soft. He's
soft, bro.
I don't know, but I'm looking at their rumors. The Suns have their eyes on Fred VanVleet, Terry Rozier, and Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. The Raptors are an intriguing one too. Like what they're going to.
They're selling. The Raptors are selling.
Yeah, I see it too. They want to dump OG and FVL. So
whoever gets VanVleet, that team is probably going to be making a run for the championship because that's the type of player that you come on your team. Like, for example, if the Clippers, for example, find a way to get him, it's about to be lights out. They're just going to be shooting everybody out the gym, like that kind of a move. The Suns it's been a weird.
The Suns need Devin Booker. That's all I gotta say.
They do. They need to right the ship with him. Yeah, so I think Devin Booker comes back and then fixes life in there. I don't want to harp too much on them because the Suns are like a weird thing. The team that was really hot before Zion got hurt was the New Orleans Pelicans. BI is coming. I think is on his way back right now, and Zion's going to be back in a week or two as well. So they're about to be at full strength again, and that's a team that people were kind of being as dark horses to make it all the way. So, what do you think about the Pelicans?
I don't think all the way, but definitely a playoff threat for sure. That definitely the trajectory for both of those guys is what is it? What did Michael Jordan say? The floor is the ceiling, bro.
Like it's the ceiling.
I wish you could name the episode that. Well, no ceilings. Damn,
no ceilings. There we go. No ceilings. Perfect.
But I think we need to see more Zion because every time we see like that small sample size, once again, like the media, he's him, he's that. he's the best player in basketball. And then he goes on hiatus and we're like, oh, he's fat, he's overweight, and we don't talk about him. We just, who cares? And then he comes back and we're like, oh my God, greatest thing in the world. And boom, once again. So I want to see a healthy Zion. I want to see a dominant Pelicans team, and BI is just a baller, bro. Like he's like a B minus Kevin Durant. So I want to see that.
That's exactly what he is. B minus Kevin Durant. You know who?
Speaking of your boy that you said, Kevin Durant, Amani Bates, bro, balled out yesterday.
29 points in a row. He was going through some legal shit over the summer. I thought his career was already about to be over, but I mean he plays at small ass school. But hey, he's starting to come back into his own, and that's what I wanted to see. So I'm happy for this version of Imani Bates. Now, I compare Blake Griffin and Zion to each other. So I'm taking a look at their first 3 seasons. So Zion averaged 22 his rookie year, 27 his sophomore year, and then 26 this season so far. And looking at Blake, he started off outside of his injured year, 22, 20, 18, and then he started blowing up with 24. Like, yeah, Blake, he's definitely already better than Blake Griffin, so I'll probably take that back. But the thing with Blake is that, he stayed injured. It got to a point in which the injuries start to kind of pile up on him. And Zion, he played 61 games last year. He played 24 the year before. Right now, he's at 29. He just missed a few. He's got to make it to the end of the season. Like, this team is, and I'm honestly just going to start the next topic right now because we've been looking at you look at the East, but the East is stacked. Like to get to avoid the play-in game, you got to get past Miami, and Miami just is Miami. Like, they're all last year. If Jimmy Butler made that 3, they're in the finals, and they were in the finals in the bubble. Like, the Miami is good, right? So that's the 6th seed. Y'all the 7th seed, Atlanta 8, Indiana they are, whatever. So we know the East is stacked. Then you look at the West, it's like it feels like what the East was 10 years ago. Like, or not even 10 years ago. It's just like what it was like 15 years ago when Detroit was running shit. Like, yeah, Detroit was good, but how seriously could you take them until they beat the Lakers and stuff like that? But they didn't win anything after that. I mean, they got to the finals again, but they didn't win another championship. One and done. So I look at the Nuggets. They're 34-14. Jokic is playing like an MVP candidate. I get that. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They got some good players, but it's still the Nuggets. Memphis, they got some good players. But Dylan Brooks has been crying his ass off these last few days because LeBron.
I'm over him, bro.
Dylan Brooks, look, I want to wrap my arms
about Shannon Sharp, bro. We didn't talk about Uncle Shay on here, man.
Let's just talk about that real quick as we segue to the Memphis Grizzlies, because I've been hearing a lot of crying from Dylan Brooks lately. And I look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm a John Morant fan, and I'm trying to wrap my arms around the Grizzlies. Like I want to support them. But they started to piss me off. They started to act like they've accomplished something. They have not accomplished shit yet. And then they have the nerve. My uncle, Shannon Sharp, they got the nerve to get into a little kerfuffle with Shannon. Now, if Shannon Sharp was a fan, they would have kicked him out the game, obviously, right? So what is your perspective on just that little fiasco that happened there?
Don't fuck with Shannon Sharp, bro. Don't fuck with Shannon Sharp.
Basketball players don't like to fight. Football,
exactly. One, Dylan Brooks is soft, bro. Dylan Brooks is soft as baby shit. Okay, and for you to tell a guy who's heckling you like a normal person would on the sidelines, and he's not cursing at you. He's saying you can't cover him. You can't cover him. They're saying that from the rafters all the way to the bottom. To other people on the court side saying things like that. And for you to tell him, fuck you, like, I get we talk about player safety and things like that. At what point do you as an officiator or someone who's there on the sidelines either calm Shannon Sharp down and tell him you need to sit down, or to respond to the player who's now heckling the fan back and giving it back? Because in my personal opinion, Shannon Sharp's a fan of the sport. He's a big LeBron fan. We know that.
Yeah.
And he's doing what he normally talks about every day.
Yeah.
And has to
not like he's not
he's not.
sugarcoating anything. This is what he says every
Exactly.
single day.
Highly questionable.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I have no problem with it. I think the NBA officiating and all of that was off for letting it happen.
Yeah.
Like somebody should have told Shannon Sharp, sit down, sir. You need to sit down, let them play the game. And coach can reprimand the player the way he wants to, but let the players come and interact with that, you see that happen.
They lost control of that team. Like that should not happen, bro. Like and I love Shannon Sharp. So like obviously I'm gonna be a little biased when it comes to that. Like
me too. Me too.
If that was John Short, that I would be like, yo, why is he interacting with the players like that? Who does he think he is? But it is Shannon Sharp. You know what he does. Like he's a media personality. He's he's one of the top shows in the league. I mean, on television at that time slot. So we know what we're gonna get from Shannon. For Dylan Brooks to kind of like interact the way he did, and the whole team had to come over there, like they were really gonna jump Shannon Sharp. They obviously didn't want no smoke with Shannon Sharp.
And to call him a pedestrian,
and that gets to my next point. He called the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp, the three-time Super Bowl champion Shannon Sharp, a pedestrian. Like, come on, bro, shut the hell up, bro. Like, you're an idiot. Like now you're officially an idiot. And as much as I want to wrap my arms around the Memphis Grizzlies, bro, like they do stupid shit. Like they asked John Morant the other day, like, who in the West are you concerned about? He said, we ain't concerned about nobody in the West. We only concerned about the Boston Celtics. Like, and I love John Morant, but that was a horrible answer. Like, that was just a bad answer. And then Dylan Brooks was wearing a little white beater tank top thing with his jeans tucked in. Like, I'm like, bro, what are you wearing?
He a wrestler?
Yeah, he looked like Undertaker or some shit. And then I don't know, man. It's just that team. It's hard for me to wrap my arms around it because like they're trying to be like the Grind Factory Grizzlies, like with like Zebo and when they were real Tony Allen. That was a tough team. That's the team I wrap my arms around. I think these are young guys trying to be that and trying to take on the life of the city. They haven't accomplished nothing yet, bro. Like nobody really has like fears you like that. So
we'll wrap it up with the Grizzlies real quick. But two things about Dylan Brooks: one, you're from Canada, and two, you went to Oregon. You're soft, bro. Chill. All right,
he's my dog. He's my dog. But but like looking at the West, I mean, Sacramento is the third seed. Sacramento is the third seed. New Orleans, the Clippers won't stay healthy. They're the fifth seed at 26 and 24. Dallas is only Luka. Phoenix is falling off a cliff. Utah don't got Donovan Mitchell no more. Golden State is not the same team.
Let's give Mike Brown his flowers now, please.
I will.
Let's give Mike Brown his flowers.
That's fine.
They won't stay at 3, and I hope I eat crow on that.
They probably will because the West is not good this year.
No, I doubt it. But I know they're not good. But like trade deadlines and getting other players, anything is possible, bro. You could beef up a team real quick, and even having Zion back and having Devin Booker, you can make those pushes. But I'm happy somebody gave Mike Brown the chance to coach again. And he's really, really good coach. He is a very good coach.
He was in that Golden State system for a few years, so he picked up. I mean, first he had LeBron, right? And then he goes. I think he was with the Lakers for a little bit, and then he joins the Golden State. Him go. Stupid. And then he joins this Golden State system, and that's a well-oiled machine. Like the Golden State Warriors are a well-oiled machine. Even when Steph Curry was hurt, they still. When they suck just enough to get top draft picks, and they're very savvy with the free agent. Even though Wiseman is not, your boy Wiseman is not becoming what you thought he was going to be.
I've already told you I'm off the Wiseman thing.
They still got him though. They still got him. Jordan Poole has become a good offensive player. They're a smart team, but I think the West is. I just don't. There's nobody in the West I trust. Like the Nuggets could get knocked out the first round.
They could. I agree with you. They could, but I'm always been just like I've been with the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm done with it. I'm not done with the Nuggets yet. I'm a huge Mike Malone fan. I think he's a good coach. I
It's
think
never
what
gonna
was
happen.
holding them, I know it won't, bro, but I think what was holding them back for the last 2 years has been the Jamal Murray injury and not having him on that team. So now you've got a healthy Jamal Murray. You've got Jokic that doesn't have to do everything every night. You can give him some nights off now. Michael Porter Jr. is staying healthy. Knock on wood.
Would
Bones Highland, where does this guy come from? And
Philly.
then you have you have a God sent to you, in a Contavious Caldwell Pope. Like, why
and
the Lakers
and Aaron Gordon.
and Aaron Gordon, who's balling out the gym too. But they went and traded for that. I think they traded for Caldwell Pope too.
No, they got him on
But
free
it
agency.
pedestrian,
Yeah,
pedestrian, bro.
no.
And what do the Lakers need? Shooters. And
Bro,
what does this guy do
the
out the
Lakers
gym?
don't make sense to me. Like Pelinka, bro, I'm telling you, man, he don't be making
Pelinka's
sense to
not.
me, dog.
He's an agent. He's a legal person. He's
Literally,
not an
that's
agent.
what he is. He is an agent.
He
Like
should be that.
you
Hang it
know
up,
the
bro.
formula to play with LeBron. Have shooters. Chris Bosh went from the post to the corner. Kevin Love went from the post to the corner. Have shooters around him, and LeBron's going to be successful. Like they got Pat Bev, who's on and off. They got Russell Westbrook shooting threes. Like it's just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all had Contagious Pope.
When Russ shoots, God, I fucking like.
Bro, my heart clenches every
Like
single
me.
time.
Every time, bro.
I was like,
It never
shit,
looks good either.
Russ got the, and then if there's like under 15 seconds, right? I just see LeBron just standing there waiting to get the ball for Russ. Russ is gonna dribble that bitch out and do it himself. I'm like, bro, Russ, just get the ball to LeBron, dog. Like, let LeBron figure the shit out, dog.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like, there's players in the West. There are players in the West. There's no team that I'm like, they're going. That's the one that's going.
I mean, watching the Clippers last night, if they play like that and they stay healthy, the Clippers are the best team in the West, in my opinion. Like, obviously, we've seen Kawhi Leonard, do it. Paul George at his best, we've seen him do it. We've seen his worst too. They out rebounded the Lakers yesterday, like 47-32. They made 19 threes. Norman Powell was amazing. Covington's amazing. They got this. They got the roster. They got the coach. Ty Lue's been there, done that. They just need to stay healthy. And to me, if they could just hold on to that health, that would be the team for me. But if they run into Luka gonna beat them or some shit like that. So it's like there's really no dominant, like, okay, that's the team. So it's like if the Lakers find a way to make the playoffs in April, May, and June, who do you want out of the West? You want Jokic and Michael Carter and Michael Porter and all these guys? Or you want LeBron, AD, playoff Russ? I don't know.
We've been bamboozled by that. We've been bamboozled by the Lakers, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Bamboozled us too much.
But the problem is that the bamboozling comes from the fact that Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. Same thing with the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are on and off the court. So if the two LA teams are not healthy, we're gonna have a Golden State find a way to get back again, or is it going to be Sacramento surprise people?
About the Clippers. Paul George, like, I don't care about Paul George. He disappoints me too many years. He can have an MVP season. I'm not a hater. I want to like Paul George. I do.
I feel like you were a fan of his before, like a real big fan.
I was. Yeah. I really was I was a big Paul George fan. And then just seeing him force his way out of Indiana, I was upset with that, but I understood why. I understood why he did it. And then when he went to the Thunder and pissed and whined there, I was like, what is going on here with this guy? And then he goes to LA and gets all of these fucking endorsements, his own shoe deal. He's given the Kings of the City, and him and Kawhi basically strong-armed the Clippers together and made the most craziest of demands. And when I think, I'm not the kind of guy that says, let's let the inmates take over the prison. I'm not that guy. But when you let your players start strong-arming you and giving you all these weird clauses, it shows why you're never going to win. Like, I got respect for Kawhi Leonard. He did what he could for his family, himself, all of that. I don't think he's a real person. I honestly think he's a cyborg of some sort. But, like, Haven't seen dude play in 2 years now. Haven't seen
Yeah,
Kawhi play in 2 years. And when he does, he plays for
that's sad. Like for real. Like this is the guy who he's won 2 Finals MVP. The first one was stupid, but that Toronto one, he willed that team to a championship. Yes, Golden State was hurt, but he made it through that whole playoffs on load management all season. So I mean, it's just I don't know. It's really hard to just to identify a team out in the West that can actually do something because I feel like whoever is going to win the championship this year is going to come out the East. In my opinion, I think Boston looks.
And Paul George does a lot of talking and
Yeah,
gets sent out the playoffs.
Paul George only plays well against the Lakers. I feel like he always plays his best against the Lakers
because it's LA versus LA. That's why.
I mean, the Clippers have won 10 in a row against them.
And I don't trust a person with 2 first names. So Paul and George, I don't like that.
George Paul.
I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that at all. But
that's all I got. How your Knicks looking?
All I got. They're hanging in there. They're in there. Like I've been trying to watch more games. They've lost games they should have won recently, but they're doing good. Julius Randle had a ball of a game yesterday, man. He balled out yesterday for sure. I think he had like 29 points in the first half. So, but
yeah, you know, my
Sixers they beat the Cavs. That's what it beat.
Yeah, the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell played too.
Yeah, 26 and 23. So we're hanging in there. 3 games behind the Cavs.
Meanwhile, you know, we're playing the Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons is back in Philly. Let me just look at this real quick. Ben Simmons, he finally made double digits today. He's at 12 points. He's also at minus 16 right now. And we're 6 minutes into the fourth quarter. He's a minus 16. Ben Simmons has fallen off of a cliff. We thought we were getting Mac Johnson. We got Michael Carter Williams or whatever his name was. Because like he, you know, good rookie year, and then that was it. So shout out to my boy Joel Embiid, who should be an MVP candidate, but you know, they be hating on my dog. Shout out to James Harden. You know, shout out to Tyrese Maxey, my real dog, 24 points right now. Coming off the bench. Man, I love Tyrese Maxey. You know how I feel about him, man. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's run that back in the Super Bowl. I'm done with my part. Go ahead and drop where they can find me.
All right. So you can find us on Twitter at fair_weatherpod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. You'll find us there. Where you subscribe or listen to podcasts, you can catch the audio there. Words of advice, sir.
You can catch me at Gasparilla on Saturday. If you're looking for
catch these hands too.
I ain't gonna be throwing no hands. I'm a happy
so that
guy.
The Eagles lose. The Eagles lose.
Oh, the Eagles lose. Just know my phone's gonna be off. My computer's gonna be off. You're not gonna hear from me. You're not gonna see me. You're not gonna. Don't try calling me. Don't text me. Good luck or sorry about that. I am disappearing. Just so y'all know. So I don't want no confusion. Y'all know how I do. I need like a week or 2 to recover. And then after the Super Bowl, I'll come back out and we can talk. That's all. Peace.